everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. In the last episode, we started playing the game. We watched Magnus Gallant graduate from the Ishka Military Academy, and then, I guess he chose his assignment to come down to Alba, the southern region of Palatinus, in order to make a name for himself as a leader. He was assigned the task of clearing up the area of hostile creature attacks on locals and deal with some rebels. Upon reaching the final location and fighting the rebel forces there, we learned that they were actually in control of the monsters that were harassing the people in this area, and were doing so to draw some forces south and away from their attack on Prince Yumel and his entourage. Prince Yumel is a childhood friend of Magnus and one of the nobility. The rebels seem interested in creating chaos or casting down the nobles and the higher class that associates with them in an attempt to bring changes to this area. Well, the only thing that's going to be changed will be their leadership, as we probably eliminated that rebel, and now we'll be going over here to save Prince Yumel. But after we do an area exploration of the 10A plains first. This will give me a chance to show you how this area exploration works for a bit, and talk to you guys while we do it. Just give you a second really quick to make an awkward cut here. Alright, so let's go ahead first, before we do the area exploration, and do some organization of our army. We picked up a few pieces of gear in the last episode, and we started with some pieces of gear that I never assigned to anybody before I sent them out into that mission. So we should absolutely have spent time making sure that everyone is equipped with the best equipment we can possibly give them before going on a mission. And we failed in that, or I failed in that. So let's go ahead and fix that now. So right away, you might have remembered that I was upset that I couldn't give Magnus a better weapon. We started with a Boulder Sword and a Blessed Sword. We should give one of those to him to start. It'll give me a chance to show you how equipment changes what your characters will also do. Here is Magnus, as we've seen him before, and pay attention in particular, everyone, to his attacks, where it says slash, slash, and slash. Remember that the top one is the front row, the middle one is the middle row, and the third bottom one indicates what he does on the last row. We're going to give him a different weapon. Let's give him for example, if we give him the Boulder Sword, note that he gains one point of magic resistance. This is because his intelligence is going up, and that determines, I think, what your resistance will be when attacked by magical spells. You can see that his strength also goes up here. Notice what happens though if we equip the Blessed Sword onto him. He picks up damage because his strength is increased by 6 points now. He goes up to /12 instead of /11. He also still gets that point of magic defense because his intelligence goes up. Note also that his attack in the final row has changed entirely. He no longer attacks. He now heals back there. He will heal a character 8 hit points, and he'll do it twice if he ends up in the back rank. There will be many items in the game which do things of this sort, changing the type of attack that you do, or the magic affinity that you use, depending upon what you have equipped. Let's give him the Blessed Sword. If we had picked up any better armor, or perhaps some headgear, we could give this to him as well. But in this case, we don't have anything we can give him as such, and he's not allowed to use any type of shields. You can see here that an item, when it's marked in red, indicates that we're not allowed to give him anything to replace this. Here, all this symbol means is he has nothing in here, and because this is red, you are not allowed to give him anything here. He is not permitted to use a shield, for example. Our fighter Jank could also have been given that Blessed Sword if we wanted to give this to him, and as you can see, his attack would have increased in every single instance. But note that his attack in the final rank does not become a heal. He still slashes for 9 damage. The Balder Sword, though, does the same thing the Blessed Sword does for him at this moment. So we should probably look to give some of our fighters Balder Swords. So why don't we look to do that? Let's have Fordham use it. But Fordham can't. Not every type of weapon can be used by every type of character. Only very specific ones. And the same goes for armor types as well. Our Fencer, which I believe is what this is, this class, has to use two-handed weapons, like this Bastard Sword. But he can use some different armor. We can give him chainmail, which is worse than his cloth armor is, that's just really weird. But there you have it. Leather armor is the same, and the hard leather is the same. The Digital Scarp gives him more agility, which means that his chance to dodge an attack would be slightly higher. But I'm not going to give him anything. And as for a helmet, we will lose 1 dex and gain 2 mental. Mental, I think, is your ability to resist special effects. And dex going down would mean that we hit less often. Enemies might dodge our attacks. So we keep him with what he has. Okay, well that teaches us that we can't give a Balder Sword to him. Or a Blessed Sword. We didn't see that available for him either. So why don't we give these weapons to other people? I think we will give this fighter, the Mighty Scott, a Balder Sword. And we'll give it to Nathan. Nathan, though, doesn't gain any extra damage if we give him the Balder Sword. So you know what? We won't give him that. Sorry, Nathan. It doesn't help you. We might as well not give it to you then. But Droit can benefit from it. There you go, Droit. That's a great name for you. Alright. So that is my equipment management done. Actually, did we assign the other items to our groups? We did. Okay. So, we're down a heal leaf, so we're going to want to pick up one of those. Alright, everyone. So that's all I'm going to do at the moment for our army formation stuff. Let me also put another cut here. Alright, everyone. Before we explore, though, there's one more thing we should do here in the organized screen, and that is name people. I was gonna forget. That is unacceptable. And based on the classes that you guys wanted to be, I can name 3 people at the time of this recording. July 13th, 2022. So, bum number 1. You want it to be any type of male melee class. We have a knight that we could make you, a fencer, or a beast tamer. I'm thinking the fencer or the knight would be good choices for you. Let's have you be the knight. Now, you won't stay a knight forever. A knight is the, I'm going to say second tier, is a second tier unit, which is to say that it's not a soldier, which is tier 0. It's not a fighter or an Amazon, which is tier 1. It is a class that a fighter can be promoted into. There's a higher tier, tier 3. And at some point in the game, you won't have any tier 2 units left, with the possible exception of a witch who doesn't have a tier 3 equivalent. But you won't stay as a knight forever. At the very least, at some point, you will be a paladin later on, assuming we want to keep you down the knight's path, for example. Bruno, you're up next. And you also mentioned you want to be any melee. Let's have you be this beast tamer. Since I'm going to make you a beast tamer, Bruno, if you want to have a special name for the hound that is going to be with you, tell me, and we can name the dog as well for you. This guy. His current name is Isquis. Yes, or actually I don't know how you even pronounce that. There's no vowel after the U and between and before the S there, so I got no clue how you say that. But if you want it named, tell me, and we'll go ahead and name it as well. And then we've got Belduke, who wanted to be a sorceress. Welcome aboard, Belduke. You mentioned this was a surname. If you want like a little initial for your first name, also tell me. We can get that added in for you. Okay, cool. All right, that's folks named. Oh, right. Let me show this as well. So, you can rename any character that you possess, with the exception of story characters. Their names are not allowed to be changed. For example, Magnus and Dio cannot have their names changed. But there is some special text that will be displayed if you try to change their name. They will tell you why they disagree with your attempt to change their name. Let's see what Magnus says. Why do you say that now? You're the one who chose it. Breaking the fourth wall, no less, to yell at us, saying that, hey, you gave me this name. You had the chance to change to give me what name I was supposed to have when you started this game. As for Dio, you're trying to be my parent? My name's Dio, nothing else. Good for him. Doesn't want his name changed, won't accept it. Alright, everyone. I'll be right back again. I'm gonna make an awkward cut here. Again! Tim, you gotta do this again. Alright, everyone. Let's do area investigation. This is like my 32nd attempt to record this part. Alright, so area investigation works very similarly to the engagement we had here against the enemy armies. Only there are no enemy armies for us to worry about, and all of the cities and strongholds are already under our control, and there is no need nor can you liberate or capture any of them. You're free to take your time. To my knowledge, there is no time limit on the main campaign, so we could literally spend like 99 days here before we go and visit and try to save Yumel. The game doesn't care. Take your time. I'm sure he'll be perfectly okay. Now that said, I won't do stuff like that. I'm not going to run around here for 99 days. At the very least, not when there is an obvious story thing that is supposed to happen, and we should feel like there is some pressure, time-wise, for us to get that task completed. I will not spend more than 7 days in the Tene Plains at this point, as that is the limit I can convince myself that it would take for the army to re-equip itself and then march out to save Prince Yumel. On that note, every day which elapses in here, do you see that where it says days and the clock up here? Every day that elapses here is a day that also has elapsed in the world. So if we go back out to the world map after like 2 days have elapsed here, it would say Sombra 11 because 2 days have passed. It's important to know that because when you arrive to a location and begin investigating it, sometimes some places will have quests, rumors, or equipment which you could acquire only on very specific days, and sometimes only within a very particular time frame of that day. So keep that in mind. You got to be at the right place at the right time to get some stuff. All right, let me make a little save here. Okay, good. Now, what is area investigation? Well, as I mentioned, we're under no time limit here, and there are no enemy units anywhere here. We cannot liberate or capture any of these cities. They are effectively either neutral to us or already under our control. It's a chance for you to walk around and visit all these places again and see if you can pick up any more lore or history on the world and discover what is happening in the world at this moment. It also gives you a chance to try to find other creatures and recruit them into your army. As our units walk around, there is a chance that they will have an encounter of some sort. it will work similarly to how random encounters worked in a game like Final Fantasy. You're out, you're walking around the world, suddenly you're in one of our armies, or units will say something to the effect like, oh, like, there's something here, and we'll be suddenly fighting something. That something will always be a monster or a let's see if I can rephrase this. It will be a non-human of some sort. Right? Most people aren't going to consider a fairy to be a monster, for example. But that could be one of the things that we encounter as we're walking around. When you encounter a creature, you will have a chance to try to recruit it to your cause. How you recruit the creatures is a bit tricky, because it depends upon what creature it is. You have to... Well, you know what? I don't know... well, okay, let's... Tim, just try your best to explain it. So, during the combat against whatever it is that you're squaring off against, you can interrupt the combat to input a command of some sort. The things you can do, which I will generally not ever do, is you can change your battle strategy. So, these are things you can do normally, not only when, well, most of these. You can change your battle strategy, you can choose to flee the combat, or you can use Pedra. You can also, if you have a random encounter against something that's not an enemy army, you can attempt to talk to whatever it is, and depending upon what you've done in combat, the creature may decide to join you. A fairy, for example, if you talk with the fairy, I think right away, the fairy will elect to join your army. She's rather honored that you want her to fight with you. Actually, Bruno, we'll have you stay in the woods. You can just do a bunch of woods exploring. If you see a dragon, and you talk to it right away, the dragon will ignore your attempts at parley and attack you. You have to attack it first and weaken it. Sometimes you have to do this multiple times in combat. Attack it for like a whole round. Other times you have to let it hit you and then talk to it to stop it's like your characters from attacking it, but it needs to attack you first. It's been a long time since I've tried to recruit a creature, everyone. And so I could look up all this information to do so successfully with you, but I think it would be funner for us to learn the game again together. It turns out, from reading your comments, that a few of you have never even seen this game before, so I'm curious as to what you will think of some of the mechanics that this game has. I totally have nostalgia glasses on for this game. I loved this game. It was a complicated game on the Nintendo 64 with an auto battler system that I have never seen before. It had me use multiple armies, which was fantastic, and there were so many, I'm going to say, moving parts to the game. Oh, hey, okay, here we go. A wild golem. Here. Okay, so this is a random encounter. Your chance of having a random encounter is dependent on the length of time that your units are out walking around. And I think it's combined with the number of units you have walking around. So it's always in your best interest to send out as many units as you can. Now, I think we still have the problem in that if Magnus dies, the game ends. And Magnus must be deployed, even in area investigation. In any case, so Magnus has encountered one golem, a single golem. Let's show you how this will work. So I'm going to attack it once with all my people, and let it attack me. Now I'm going to interrupt. Okay, so at this point, I can try... Oh, you know what? It's talk, retreat, and LM Pedro. We can't change the battle strategy. That would make sense, because we only encounter one thing ever. Let's try talking with this now. We've let it hit us, and we all attacked it once. And let's see what happens. Hey, and the golem respected us and decided to join our group. We now have a golem we can add to one of our armies if we so wish. Note as well that we gained 1 experience point. you can stay here and farm random encounters to level up your people. And I will occasionally do that, because at some point, so early on in the game, it is really hard for your very weak armies, especially because we're going to have like soldiers in them, to defeat any of the random creatures you encounter. Golems in particular are nasty because we don't have a whole lot of magic damage. They have a great amount of physical defense, but not much magical defense. In any case, walking around and killing creatures is a good way to get some experience points between different engagements that you have within the main story. And I will spend time doing that. As I mentioned, I think earlier, if I do spend an entire video doing that, I will flag the video so you know that the only thing that's happening here is farming. I know some of you won't want to watch it, but I also know that some of you really do want to watch it. So I think it's best that I list them as, hey, you're not interested, don't even bother clicking on the video. You're interested? Great. Here's a farming video, and I'll try to come up with some exciting things to talk about as we go through it. Now, I'm not going to keep that golem in our army. At the moment, the creatures we are encountering here are like level 3. And we don't have an extra unit to fit him in at this. I guess we can keep him. And we'll hope we can get another unit unlocked at some point in the future. Okay, so Bumba reached his location. Belduke, I'm going to go ahead and have you enter this location. And we'll enter the stronghold. In which case, we'll probably talk with the old guy again, who talked to us last time about who the leader was of the rebels operating in this area. I remember. The leader's name is Frederick Raskin. He was a merchant in the West. Now, you might be thinking, Tim, that's useless information. Well, it's not really. I am aware that Frederick Raskin is someone of importance to the story. Also, that could have been information about, like, where a set of equipment would have been. I mean, it's not. All the encounters you have at these locations are fixed. So, if we were to restart this game, play up to this point, send a character to this location, and have that character enter, we would get the same reaction there. There are some exceptions to that. So sometimes if a particular person enters a stronghold, something different occurs. Like, if a girl goes in instead of a guy, there might be a different encounter. If Magnus or Dio enters a location, there might be something special. These will generally be hinted at to you. Bumba, let's have you go into this stronghold. The kids these days, with their hair and their clothes, must be trying to make some kind of statement. Discontent with the political climate? Societal demands? You'd be jailed for complaining, so it comes out in their looks. That may get squelched too. You imagine if that happens. Scary, huh? And I can't imagine any censorship happening. Thank goodness we don't live in a world where that happens. Let's go ahead and visit the shop. Alright, Bumba, so I can't remember if you can purchase these items from the army screen, but I'm going to go with we can't at this moment. So another good reason to come back and explore, assuming I'm correct about that, is you get a chance to purchase this gear for your armies. So I'm anticipating getting another, at least like 1 or 2 more units some point in the near future. So we'll go ahead and purchase 4 more heal leaves. Two power fruits. And we'll also purchase a single quit gate. And Bumba will carry that. Okay, Bubba is going to rest for a little bit longer. While Miss Belduke will come down here. Oh, random encounters. So, they are going to be roughly the level that this area was in when you fought the enemy armies. They're based on what the enemy armies' levels were. So, the creatures here will be level 3 at this point. I think there's another battle that happens here at some point in the future, at which point everything here will be leveled up. You will no longer find, for example, level 3 golems. They'll be level, whatever level it is, when we're in here a second time, I think it's chapter 2. Dio, you're a little tired, but you are still you can still fight at 100% efficiency. So we'll have you enter this in case there's a random a battle here. Until a few decades ago, this region of Alba, south of the Battlement Mountains, was free territory. The climate here is so dry and mountainous, crops won't grow. Without natural resources, no one would even think of selling this area. The boulder mines are in this area, and I think the next location we're going to indicated there's mines there too. So boulder is a rich magical ore, and it is much sought after, which is why there's these settlements out here. People working the mines. I guess hunting must be something that happens out here as well, for rare skins and so on, or furs. We'll have you stand there for a little bit and recover. The random encounters that you have are also based on where your character was walking at the time. Belduke, for example, is unlikely to fight something like a hellhound on the road. She's more likely to encounter, say, a hawkman or perhaps a fairy here. Golems are in mountains, and there are other creatures in different biomes. So it would behoove you, if you're looking for certain things, to walk your characters around looking in certain areas. So bum number 1, we're going to have you come across the bridge. And while you're doing that... Alright, Fordham. So I tend, when I play this game, which again I haven't done for years, but I'm talking as if I've done that often. Like I do this every day. I haven't played this game since I uploaded it for you guys the first episode. But I remember so much of how I used to play this game. It really left a good mark on me. So what I'll end up doing is I will try to make sure that I gauge the certain... When I assign people to locations, I want them resting before their flag becomes, tilted. Because that indicates that they're tired, and they will fight less efficiently. Let's see if we can... Oh, Dio, you're probably... Well, yep, you're arrested. Let's have you come... Actually, you'll go down to the mine. Where's that? Looking for stuff. So at this point, for example, see the flag? Bruno fights less efficiently because he'll be tired. But he's almost at the final spot that I want. He's almost at this place where I told him to stop, so we'll let him keep walking. Alright, Magnus, you can now rest. I think the reason why you might want to be in a stronghold other than resting out in the wilderness is that I don't think you recover hit points just standing around in the wilderness, but you do when you're in a stronghold. There might be another benefit for fighting in a stronghold, like defending while inside of it, but I can't think of what it is at this moment. Alright, Fordham, let's have you come down here. Cross the bridge. And then head over in that direction. Yeah, so there's a ton of moving parts in this game, and the more fiddly things the game has, the more meters you have to manage, the more I tend to like a game. So this was rather unfair, because I am pretty much guaranteed to like a game like this, and it's a bias I have. I tend to like these games that have so much to manage. For this game, those things are... well, hold on. Let's go into Stronghold first. Initially, Alba was sparsely populated. After it became part of Palatinus, people from Latinum and Wetinus migrated here. Some were pioneers, some were outcasts. Oh, interesting. So there's a bit of outlaws here. People who decided to come here because they weren't welcome at any other place. They are likely not going to like Palatinus's desire to rein in the southern region. It'd be like Southgate Station being told they're going to merge in with, what were they called now? The Protectorate? The Protectorate. Use this rest here for a little bit more, Belduke. Get some stamina recovered. So, one of the first things you need to manage in this game is something called Chaos Rating. I went and looked it up briefly between the last episode and this one, because I wanted to get the name right. Your Chaos Rating is determined by how evil your armies act, and by some story-related decisions that you make. Capturing a city, as opposed to liberating it, for example, will give you a lower Chaos Rating. All this means, in the grand scheme of things, is that your ending will be different of the game. And I think if you have a very low Chaos Rating, you get a special, very final mission after the last a last area engagement in, as opposed to if it's not as low. Different types of characters will join you and your army as well, depending upon what decisions you make and how low your Chaos Rating is. There again, there is no... I don't consider it a bad thing, it's just different. Thought I needs to explore everything out there. Alright, Magnus and Bruno. Alright, so Bruno, you're going to stay generally in the woods and look for things to kill. And while you're doing that, Magnus will continue to explore this woods a bit. Note that your characters... Hey, there's something here. Oh, good job, Bumba. What's there? A great bow. Hey, holy crap. Give that to one of our Amazons. Alright, I'm here. What's next? Dio. You are still in fighting spirits? Let's set you in. For the aristocrats, we're simply a tool to mine ore. Don't you agree? If they thought we were humans, we wouldn't be treated this way. I didn't get the impression they were forced to work the mines. I thought the ore was purchased by Palatinus. Maybe they're not happy with the amount of funds that are being offered for the work that they do. I'm imagining that working in the mines is probably not the most glorious of jobs. It probably has various health hazards associated with it. But perhaps, I mean, we don't know very much about the monetary situation of the world we're in at this moment. So, I don't know if it's fair or not, and if there's anything that can be done for the people working in the mines to make it a more attractive job to do. When it comes to terrain that you walk on, mountains, barrens, and swamps, I seem to recall, have the most drain on your character's stamina. Then it's forests, then it's plains, and then it's roads. Yeah, so Chaos Rating, it's not necessarily a measure of how bad things are. Like, you're not necessarily evil, but you're going down a more... What's the word I'm looking for? No, it's not controversial. That's wrong. Confrontational route, I will say, rather than looking to seek peace as often. The game has the alignment that you need to manage very carefully And you need to do it right from the get-go. At least I remember this being the case. I had so many problems when I was first playing this game, trying to get an army that was chaotic, because I didn't fully understand how the alignment system worked. So I spent a good amount of time learning it, because I had no choice. This also means, by the way, alignment's important for the higher tier character classes as well. Like, you can get a sorceress, but then accidentally put her in an army where her alignment will be constantly being increased. And if this happens and she's a lawful sorceress, she'll never be able to be promoted to a siren, which is the upgraded version of her. So you need to manage that very carefully. And I love it. I love the amount of work you have to put into raising your army, because it feels so good when you get to see the result of that work. Everyone, we're going to spend 7 days here max, I think. I'm looking to have a random encounter with Bruno. I want to kill something with him, actually, if I can. And I wouldn't mind having like another unit in my army. So maybe we can recruit something else somewhere else. So you explored everything around that corner. Did I? I don't think we walked anyone here. Let's have you do that, and then you'll come back to this stronghold. The distance you need to walk to encounter an item on the ground is... you gotta be pretty close to it. So, being just in the general area is not going to be enough. Theo, let's have you venture into the mountains. Your armies will attempt to avoid walking in terrain that slows them down if possible. So, Dio may walk here, and then walk down the mountain and around it, instead of going up through the mountain, which is one of the reasons why you see me placing the waypoints where I do. Keeping you in the woods, Bruno. We're going to fight something in those woods. I really like the way the alignment worked. Hey! A wild young dragon! What should we do? Okay, so let me talk about young dragons really quick. So, a young dragon has no color. It's going to kind of look like a giant chicken, in a way. It doesn't have any developed scales. It has no breath attack. It's still a strong creature, and we wouldn't be remiss to get one in our army. But I'm going to try to have Bruno kill it, if we're lucky. Random encounters, if you do significant damage to the creature too quickly, it will cause the creature to run. Yes, the enemy can run from you in random encounters. It doesn't happen when it comes to armies, generally. Now, I want Bruno to try to kill it, and of all the armies I have, Bruno is the most likely to do so, because he's got his Hellhound in that army with 3 attacks. So if we're lucky, we can kill this and get some experience points for Bruno. More than just 1. Let's see what happens. If it has 80 hit points, it might be really... oh, we're probably not going to be able to kill it. Oh, or maybe we will. Oh, I think we will, actually. Excellent work, guys. Alignment down. Good. Good job, Bruno. 20 experience points. That's fantastic. I'll take 20 experience points without having to pay for it. Wait, there's something here. Heal Seed. Holy crap! I forgot we get items from killing these creatures as well. So there's another reason why you might want to hang around and kill creatures for a bit. Yeah, so when I understood how alignment worked, I would spend a lot of time planning my army compositions, which I find to be so much fun, because I get to sit down with spreadsheets and track numbers and see who's going to be with whom and so on. God, I love this crap so much. I shouldn't, but I do. Oh, I love it. I love poring over notes and spending, like, A game like Underrail, for example, man, I spend hours on the character creation tool on the internet, plotting and planning what my character's build's gonna be, looking forward to every 4 levels to see where he generally would be in the world and what new feats he's gonna have and so on. I love this stuff. And so, in this game, there's so much of it to manage, and when you do it well and see your army work well, oh, man, it feels fantastic. I feel a special power emanating from you. It must be a Lempedra. One of you wields a Lempedra, no? Shall I share what I know? Let me tell you a story. A Lempedra is a powerful crystal. The crystallized powers are wind, flame, earth, water, virtue, and bane. Those who possess the Lempedra are said to wield special power. It appears that you're under divine protection from the Lempedra. Do you have all 6? If you don't, you should find them. What I remember, I think we had that same encounter back when we were here originally. If I remember the Lempedra and where they're located, then 3 of them are gathered through very specific locations and events, and 2 of them are gained through training. And the battles you have to do are some of the toughest training missions in the game. Training. Let's talk about that really quick. You'll see that in the future video, but not here in the prologue, because I won't do it in the prologue. Training is an option you have when you are in the world map. Some locations, I think actually all of them, will give you the option to pay some amount of goth, and then you will be able to select an army. The amount of goth it costs is dependent upon the level of the army and the area you are in. That army then will square off against an enemy army, like a unit versus unit battle, as if it was an engagement. But the battle doesn't end until one side falls entirely. If your side falls, okay, you lose. You don't get any experience points. You spend the money, but your units aren't dead. You win? Great! Anything that survived gets experience points. It's a good way to test your unit compositions out and get them more experience and give them a little more unity. We'll talk about unity in a bit. But that's what training is. And I remember two of the training missions to get some Lempedra are really phenomenally difficult. It will be, woo! We'll have to assemble like a particular army probably just to do those battles. A Lempedra, as I mentioned before, it's very powerful. We absolutely want all of them. Because after you use one in an engagement, it also goes on cooldown. You can't use them, if I recall correctly, every single fight. The cooldown is going to, well, you can use 1 per battle, but then once you've used like all 6, assuming you have all 6, you gotta wait some amount of days before they'll be able to be used again. We'll have you just hang out there for a bit. Theo, let's have you rest. Did we already visit this location? I can't remember. Belgic, why don't you go in there again? We did. Okay. You know, I want to say there's something special about one of these cities. I thought it was this one, but maybe it's this one. And we need to have a girl go in it. So, Belduke, let's have you go here. Bordeaux. Building. I thought it was... Oh, I thought it was building. I'm probably wrong. Okay. Yes, so statistics are another thing that you need to manage carefully. In so much that if you want the character class unlocked, you'll need to have the certain statistics to match it. Eventually, every class would have the statistics. Like, if you keep a fighter, eventually he'll have the intelligence or what have you to become a mage, or a knight, or a ninja, for example. It's faster if you do it in a certain, like, if you're trying to aim for a paladin, it's going to be faster for you to level your... It'll be faster for you to meet the minimum stat requirement if you level up as a knight, for example, rather than a mage. But eventually, I don't think, like, a character class gains some stats in all... gains some points in all of the statistics that are available for them. So you'll reach it eventually. The one real limiting factor, though, is going to be your alignment. That's why I'm spending a lot of time discussing alignment, because it's one of the toughest things to get right, and if it goes wrong, you will struggle to get that alignment correct for the class. It takes a lot of work to fix alignment when it starts to be going in a direction you don't want it to go in for certain characters of yours. It's also one of the reasons why I like the game so much. Any game which punishes you for... and it's not really punishment. It is because you're not going to be able to use that class, but any game which rewards you for proper planning is another one I very much like. Like, I played it for maybe like 2 hours, and then I was like, I don't like this game. It was Diablo 3, and I didn't like that you could respec at a moment's notice. I much preferred Diablo 2, where your abilities were set in stone. At least they were originally. I think they added an option for you to respec in the game at some point, up to what, 1 time per difficulty. But man, I liked the amount of planning you had to do for your character class. This is it. Okay, I was right. I moved here with my husband, but how could a refined woman like myself live out in the country? However, one good thing about living here, I can buy silk at Dardanel's. I can give it to the dressmaker in Bilney in the Tene Plains. I've never seen such gorgeous dresses anywhere. Why not have one made for yourself, instead of fighting like barbarians? My daughter told me that the bolt of silk is available on the 15th of every month. Okay, so we now know, and Sim grabs a pen to write this down with, that silk is available at Dardanel's on the 15th of every month. And if we bring it to Bilney, we can have a dress made. This is how you gain this is how you gain access to the princess dress that can be used for the princess class. Yes, there is a class called princess. That is amazing. I love it. And it's one of the most powerful classes in the game, if I remember correctly. We need a pretty princess in our army. She is amazing. We need her. Someone's got to be a princess. Someone's got to be a princess. And of course it has to be, well, I will want it to be a class that has good casting ability. I think she heals, if I recall correctly. But what is really special about the princess is her passive bonus. Everyone in the unit she is in gets an extra attack or an extra action wherever they're located. So it's a chance to give like a lich like a 3rd attack, or your paladin a 4th attack on the front line, for example. It is incredible. Absolutely amazing. And I think we're done exploring this location. Although I will have Bumba. Oh, not Bumba. Bruno. Also, one more loop with you. So, what we just saw is something else I really liked about this game, which is secret hidden equipment, which requires you to take notes to remember where it's located. Because we're not going to ever... There's no quest log, generally, to tell you where these things are. So, we got to remember where these things are. And I love note-taking. I love it. I absolutely love it. And or I love being forced to remember where things are located. Having done this, and the amount of time it takes to get some of these pieces of equipment, I remember what is involved in it. That's why I mentioned, like, I thought this was the place when I was looking at Bilney, because I remember that place being very important. I just couldn't remember why it was. I thought we were told there about the dresses, but that's actually where they're created. You'll come up this way, Fordham. Go a roundabout way to see if we can get another random battle. Belduke, we'll have you go into the woods and you'll try fighting as well. Maybe we can find another dragon whelp, and then everyone will make their way over. Ooh, Theo. Let's have you go here. So everyone's gonna... So we could just end this right now, but I like bringing everyone back to the stronghold where I deployed them to, and then having them go back to the stronghold to end an area investigation. There's no reason to do it. Arguably, I'm wasting your time, but it gives me a chance to talk with you guys a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep doing it this way. Right. So I also liked in this game that the story changes. Hey, oh Fordham, it's a golem. You're not defeating this. Let's see what level it is. Oh, 5 hit points. Yeah, we don't do any significant damage to it. But we will earn, I think, 1 soldier point. So we want to still do this fight anyway. Nice guard, Fordham. Nice guard. We're a little wounded, but I think he'll be okay. Yeah, so I liked the way the story unfolds, and your decisions really matter in this game. Sometimes you'll be given a choice of different cities to go to. Like Hugo will tell us that, hey, we gotta make a choice as to where we want our army to go. And if you go, like, right instead of left, the left mission is gone. You don't get to do it. So I really like when games do that sort of thing. It was one of the things I liked about StarCraft 2. Oh, Bumba, good luck. You have a young dragon. We're gonna have you try to kill it. I don't want a young dragon at this point because it's low level, and also because, well, we don't have a dragon tamer at this moment. Ooh, it crit. Good for it. But I think... Darn it! So, Bumba was pushed back a spot, and he wasn't able to do the damage he normally would have done. Good for that young dragon. Oh, I don't see the damage Bumba does. I think he probably could have killed it had he not been pushed back a spot. So, that gives me a chance to talk about that as well. When you're crit, depending upon what crits you, it's a chance that you can be pushed back. I think melees generally do this, not like magic. And if you're pushed back, you now are doing what's in the second position. Your number of attacks I don't think changed, but your damage will decrease, for example. And Dio. Let's have you move directly back to the stronghold. Belduke, you'll rest out there, and then you'll go back to the stronghold. So everyone's now going to return, and we're all done with the area investigation. What else is there? Unity. Unity. So, I don't have too much time to talk about Unity, and I didn't talk about why I like auto battlers at all at this moment. So that would have to be something I guess I do in a different episode. If I go enter stronghold, is that... Oh! Oh, right, I forgot all about this. So, if you enter the stronghold that you deployed from, and you're doing an area investigation, Hugo will tell you what types of creatures are in this area. Not every type of creature is in every area in the game either. In addition to being within their certain biomes, you have to be in the right area of the world to find them. So we have worms and young dragons. And we've seen mashless golems. Now, I do think that the soldier points we are earning... I'm sorry. I do think we earn soldier points. So in other words, we do a battle, we get 1 experience point, and the number of soldiers in the army are tallied, and that number of points added to the unit's leader to determine if he promotes a soldier to a unit, to a character. So, Unity. There is a... like everything, well, not everything, like some things in this game, there is a hidden attribute that a unit has. Not a character, I mean a unit. And it's called, as I mentioned, Unity. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but there you go. The more it fights together, the more cohesive the unit fights together as a group. This is in particular important for spellcasters. Without the good amount of unity, spellcasters will target things individually, but spellcasters can combine their spells to make, to cast unique combined spells. They do it if they can time their cast at the same exact moment. For example, if a character can cast lightning, they'll cast a lightning spell normally. And if they can cast a water spell, it'll be an icicle, I think is what it's called. And these attack a single target. But they could combine their spells together to cast a spell called Ionosphere. And this affects an AoE and it does increased damage and has a chance to paralyze and or, I think, slow the target. It's amazing, and the higher ranked units have a increased version of their spells as well. The same spells that was cast by an Archmage and a Siren, if they cast together, or 2 Sirens, or a Valkyrie and a Mage, or what have you, would cast a spell called Atmosphere, which affects, I think, everything in the enemy army, and applies those effects. So I loved it, like the amount of just things you manage, and the reward for getting everything right is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, so I can totally understand people not liking that amount of work, which is required. And to be fair, it doesn't need that much work. It doesn't need that much work. You can beat the game, I'm pretty sure, with probably just like 4 units deployed on the battlefield. Especially because if you only have a limited amount of units, those guys are constantly getting experience points. They will be higher level than most of the things they fight, and they can probably take on most things without too much trouble. But I like having like every single monster, every single unit, every single character class, every type of character. I like having them all because I love that amount of variety in our forces, and it's cool to watch all the different attacks happen and so on. And we're done here, everyone. All right, let's go back to... Oh, let me also... No, let's go back to the main menu. Okay, and 7 days have elapsed, because it is now Sombra the 16th. Let's save the game again. Alright, I'll put an awkward cut here, and we'll be back to visit Volmus Mine. Give me a few seconds. Alright, everyone. Let's go ahead and head over to the Volmus Mine and see what we can do about rescuing Prince Yumo. Scene 2. Sparks. Our information is meager, but I did manage to make a plan. Let me start. Refer to the map. Let's get started. We'll be using Salken, the Land of Enlightenment, as our headquarters. Our goal is to rescue Prince Yumel. Unfortunately, we don't know where he's being held captive. Therefore, we should march our troops south along the road and liberate strongholds on the way to gather information on Yumel's whereabouts. Oh, that's it? So his advice is go everywhere and talk to everyone. Alright, that's no problem. We'll do that. So generally, I do this anyway in all the missions. I at the very least try to visit all the enemy-held strongholds and liberate them. And then we get to the final location and defeat the boss that's there. That will be the vast majority of missions that we are doing. This is a little different because we don't have a final location to actually go to at this moment. So when we figure out where Yumel is, at that point we will likely know what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go. Also, you might have noticed that this map we see before us is the one that's drawn in the background in the game too. That's pretty cool. That if you look at that map before it gets displayed to you, you get a good idea of what the terrain is going to look like before Hugo unfurls it in front of us. I'm sorry, but this is all I can do. I'm heading to Akka Castle. Good luck, Magnus. Winning condition, rescuing Prince Yumel. Losing condition, invasion of our headquarters, death of Magnus. Those two will almost always be our losing conditions in, I think, 99% of the missions that we do. I'm sorry, 90% of the missions we do, or 95%. Okay, so... Hey, we have something that's moving. See her down here? This means that she is either... Well, she's moving. I'm guessing that she is moving towards our headquarters and wants to conquer it. Let's take a look and see what this enemy force consists of. We have another Fordam here, apparently. A knight. And a young dragon. Not the best formation for these two. The knight should also be in the front line, but he's probably a bit of a coward, using the dragon as his tank, as it were. And we have Celine, a cleric with 2 soldiers in her army. This is not a very difficult army to defeat. In fact, this is a great one if we want to earn lots of soldier points. I will show you why when we engage it. Okay, so... No matter what, we want to dispatch our forces. So everyone gets dispatched. Okay. So the cleric is a lawful unit, as is the knight. The soldiers and the dragon are neutral. But I want lots of soldier points, and I think Bumba can farm that enemy unit to get some. But I have to be careful about how I do this. So Bumba, you'll hit there. If we engage this army a little too close to the bridge, and we win, it will throw her across the bridge, and then she'll go to the stronghold to rest. I would like, when I engage her, for her to stay on this side of the bridge, so we can eliminate that enemy unit without having to chase it. So, that's the plan for Bumba. In the meantime, Dio, who saw no action at all in the last engagement, will head this way towards the Barrens and then south. And we'll have Bruno assist with that. Actually, if there is a dragon and a knight down there, Bruno would be better suited to dealing with that nonsense. So Bruno, you're going to move up just a tad. I should have another unit follow Dio. Oh, crap. I need to look at the alignment of the strongholds, too. What's here? 40. So, not chaotic. 48. Okay. So, I think Fordham can go in this direction with Dio to help take this location. And let's unpause at this point. We're going to leave Magnus and Belduke here, and I'll make a call as to which direction they will be going in soon. I don't remember any units coming from this direction in this mission, but I do remember that there's another one coming up from this side. If this is the mission I'm thinking it is. And I want to wait to see what that unit is before I send more troops out. I'm now at the target location. Alright, Bruno, you just hang out there for a little bit. Alright, I'm here. Bumba, thank you. Okay. So... I was hoping she wouldn't charge up like this. I don't know if I'll be able to send her... I think no matter what, she's going to go across the bridge. It doesn't matter. Okay, we'll engage her in the end. We're ready to attack. Our first cleric that we're seeing. Clerics do no damage. They heal instead. Good block. Good block. And so in this battle, we will slowly whittle down their army, and she will help keep her army alive, which is great. Because in this instance, I want to get more soldier points. The cleric's position is also really awkward. She's in the middle. She should be in the back rank. She'd heal twice back there. Okay, so that's really awkward. I'm going to move you here. And Bruno, I don't want you defeating her, so I'm going to move you actually... back to the stronghold. Okay, there is another unit approaching. Another cleric. What's in her group? 2 clerics of the fighter. That would be fantastic for Belduke to take on. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, she's chasing you, Bumba. I'll let her chase you a bit more. Let's send you now down off the mountain, Bumba. I'm a little worried we'll be attacked from behind. We should still win even if we are attacked from behind. Oh, hello. And she doesn't know what to do. I think... Okay. So the question mark means the AI is not sure what its, at this point, its task is. This happens occasionally, I think, in the early game especially, when the AI is holding its punches. So I think she meant to attack our stronghold, but we didn't send all our units down south directly. We sent some around the mountain. So now it's a little confused as to, oh, well, there's still something guarding the stronghold. Bumba, this is so awkward. But I really don't want you to... If you fight her now and win, what will end up happening is you'll send her across the bridge. And I don't want that to happen. Okay, Fordham, you can just rest here. Dio can do the same. We're ready to attack. Good luck, Belduke. Two clerics and the fighter, so they're not going to out-damage us. But it may take some effort to actually kill something in this group. Right, and they're getting their final round instantly after the other one. We'll see how well we do the next time we engage that army. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Fordham? You need to break camp because there's an enemy right next to you. And Bumba, we're going to have you actually whirl around and fight her. Oh, couldn't quite reach Magnus. My concern is that when we win this battle, we may end up sending this army directly into Magnus. In which case, I think Magnus will be attacked from behind. Oh, that's a shame. We missed it. We missed that. Well, I don't think we're going to kill anything on this side anyway this round. Yes! Excellent work! Does she get flung right into Magnus's group? I think she does. Oh, good, she did not. Okay. So Magnus can turn around. And she's gonna panic. Fordham? Let's see. We're gonna have you cross... Oh, hold on. We have a good aligned unit down here. What is this? Alright, yes, thank you, Dio. Stop. Pause the game. Redford. 2 mages and a soldier. Once again, note that the early AI formations have they're not at full strength. This is three things in this enemy unit, and they're not in the best position they could be in either. So the AI is still holding its punches, which is fine for me. It's also, but that's a chaotic army. I would normally want Magnus to deal with that, but I want someone to deal with this army first, and that would be Bruno. And Bumba, you're tired, so we need to move you into the stronghold. Meanwhile, I guess, Bruno, you will head out here. Go to the stronghold and see if we can take it. Magnus, I'm going to move you to the bridge to stop this cleric from being able to reach it. Fordham, you'll get to the bridge, as will Dio. Alright, Bumba. I do want you killing that cleric's unit, but you need to recover some stamina first. So you'll just sit there and wait. Side attack. Alright, Belduke, let's see how well you do against the right side of this enemy army. And it's practically the same... It looks like the same to me. So close. but that cleric lived and will heal herself. Yep, almost to full. So another good army to get soldier points against. Yeah, she can charge that unit. We might actually defeat it with Fordham instead, which will be fine. Alright, Magnus, we'll just have you rest there. Bubba, we need your stamina recovered a little more. Dio and Fordham are arriving at the bridge. I think this is where Belduke is victorious and defeats what's left. At least one of the clerics drops here. This will do it, I think. No! Well, then guess who gets to kill? Our Amazon again. Amazon getting every single kill that this squad has set up. It's too funny. The Amazon did not attack the cleric, by the way, because that cleric is 2 columns away from her. She would prefer to attack something in 1 column away, if possible. Or we can rest you again. Yeah, we rest you again as well. I mean, you'll wake up right away. We're just giving you a small rest. Alright, guys, let's do it. Time to wipe them out. That's interesting, because I think the Amazon's going to get at least one of these kills again. Yep. My goodness. A kill stealer. Well done, though. Well done. We defeated them. Now what? Alright, Belduke, we can have you rest. Good luck, Bumba. You're defending our stronghold? Oh, or not. Alright, so Dio, let's have you move here. Bumba, this isn't fair, but we're going to attack her. Fordham, you'll move into the stronghold. Oh, good luck, Bruno. Actually, you shouldn't need luck. You should kill the dragon. The Hellhound here will give us the damage that we need to do so. The Knight only has 1 attack in the back rank, so that's the last attack they get this round. I suppose I should talk about leveling up briefly, because we haven't seen a unit do that yet. So, when a character levels, they do it whenever they reach 100 experience points. The amount of experience points a unit is going to, the amount of experience points that you need to level is always 100. The amount of experience points you earn during combat is based upon your level versus the enemy level. If it's about equal, you'll be earning about 9 experience points or so from the fight. Nine or 11 or so. If you're lower level, you earn less. Higher level, you earn more. But generally, you should expect to earn about that for all the battles that you are in. Dio, I need to use a heal leaf on this guy. We might not survive the next encounter. And Magnus, we'll have you come down here. Senno has been liberated. Good job, Bruno. Let's have you destroy this knight as well, then. And we'll go into Senno with Magnus. We're ready to attack. Alright, Bumba. Let's get some more experience points. They're exhausted as well, so they'll heal for less hit points here, too. We may actually kill 2 of them here. Wow, we did not. Close, though. Very close. And she's probably going to end up resting. And Dio gets a chance to destroy the mages here. He'll probably kill both of them. Yeah, there's not much left here. We heavily damaged one. Wasn't the leader. We're not going to kill their leader, actually, it looks like. Nice! Good resistance. Like the little guy brought up his buckler. Oh, notice that no alignment up occurred. So Dio's alignment is close to that mage's alignment. Because killing it didn't lower it any. I think that's the way that works. Well, if the, if the dragon wasn't strong enough to survive around in this, the knight won't either. Hey, good kill, Bruno. Alignment down. Wait, something here. A light mace. We defeated them. Now what? Alright, Bruno, let's have you move into the stronghold. Ready to break camp. Alright, Belduke, we'll have you come out here as well. Anyway, you need 100 experience points to level. But when you level, any experience points you earned past that 100 experience points is lost. You don't go to, like, 18 if you were at 98 experience points and kill something worth 20, for example. So, oh, that's interesting. Our soldiers killed that guy. So, it's something to consider if you... This is especially true for training. If you have a unit that's, like, 1 experience point or 2 from having most of their characters level, I would rather spend that time doing an area investigation and doing, even if we don't kill a creature during that, just doing just having 2 encounters with that unit would translate to leveling everyone up and saving yourself quite a bit of goth. And Dio found a rosary. Who wants some of me next? Alright, Bruno is back to the location. This is where the clerics fall. Let's do it, Bumba. Excellent work. Alignment down on them, which I don't like seeing, but they're lawful at the moment, so we can take a single lawful down probably without too much concern. And now we move you into the stronghold over here, and you'll probably hold that location. And Magnus can go ahead and enter the stronghold. The Valmus mines are here, a rich vein of Balder ore. The ore that's mined will be sent to Lotus. No matter how hard the miners work, the situation will never improve. Is that my phone? That's my phone going off. It can wait. So it sounds like what I was asking earlier about what the conditions of the miners are in, is that it's not paid very well at all. And they don't have any hope of moving up through to like a higher class, it sounds like, either. Okay, Magnus, we'll have you cross the bridge. Actually, Desse has been liberated. Good job, Fordham. I want you guys hanging out near the bridge. Bruno, we can rotate you here. And where is Dio? Dio, let's have you move in. And Fordham can be the one to check to see what's happening in Desse. Those who don't work shall go hungry. The more we work, the gods will provide. The more we work, the gods will provide us with reason to live. That's why we work hard. Well, kind of need the work to put food on the table. Even if that wasn't like being paid to do it, you'd have to go and hunt to find food or farm it. So, like, that's not a wrong statement. Those who work, you gotta work to put food on the table. We have some equipment here that I recognize that can be used by a ninja. I'm going to purchase one of these headbands. Oops. Oh. An iron claw. A ninja. Oh, we already have a ninja garb. Okay. And that would be good. Actually, what I should probably consider how many iron helms and short swords or round shields we need. If you don't have the equipment for, like, a fighter to be promoted from your soldiers, it won't happen. So let's purchase another iron helmet, another short sword, and another round shield. Oh, and one more chainmail. Just to make sure we have enough to promote another fighter. It hasn't happened even once yet, but we will eventually want to. On the off chance we get 4 fighters at one time being promoted, let's go ahead and take that equipment. Alright, Dio, we'll swing you, we'll face you to the south. We see a knight over there. So that would mean that's okay. So I'm gonna have Dio come back over here and cross this bridge, and he'll lead the charge against that knight. Okay, Bumba, you can rest again. You take a look at this knight really quick. Nash is his name. A knight and 2 fighters, but he's not in the best position to lead those 2 fighters. That will be an easy battle to do. Yeah, we'll have Dio do that fight to try to get his alignment lowered a bit. Okay, and while he's going in that direction, let's have you, Fordham, cross the bridge. And we'll have Belduke do the same. Dio should rest a little bit before we... yeah, sure. Dio will rest just a tiny bit. I want us being at full stamina before we do it. Alright, let's do it. Dio. You're crossing the bridge first. Magnus follows you up. We have another knight here. My phone's going off again, everyone. I have to go take a peek at this. Be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so, what does Vincent have in his army? Himself and a griffin. This is one of the more dangerous armies we've seen in this engagement so far, because at least the knight and griffin are in a good position. The knight gets 2 attacks up front, the griffin gets 2 attacks in the back. It's also a good aligned unit, so Belduke could lead that fight. Let's have her do so. And what does this army... what does the stronghold consist of? 55. Fordham should actually conquer that stronghold, though. Dio, you're going to attack the unit. And what is this stronghold's alignment? Isharo. 43. Magnus could probably check it out. Our letter Dio found. Dio. Magnus can probably conquer. Actually, Dio probably could too. Walk into the stronghold. Their alignments are still acceptable for that. Bumpa sends you across the bridge. Bruno, I'm going to have you look in this direction. Stop, Belduke. He's coming right at you. All right, good luck. This is one of the tougher battles we've seen so far in this map. Oh, good crit. We didn't knock him back because we couldn't. The position is being blocked by the Griffin. Hey! Good kill, Belduke. Level up! Holy crap! Fantastic work. And what is the alignment of this place again? 55. So it can't be you, Belduke, that goes after it. You'll just rest here. Belduke's alignment is more chaotic. So there's a range you're allowed to be in. You don't have to match the alignment of the... I'm going to call them cities. You don't have to match the alignment of the city perfectly in order to liberate it, but you must be within a certain range, or whatever number the city is in. Now, we can't see the exact number of... the alignment number of our characters, so you have to kind of eyeball it, as it were. If the scale is not weighted at all in either direction, it's hovering around like anywhere from 40 to 50, if I recall. Alright, you're not even tired. Let's move you down this way. Alright, Dio. What's taking him so long? They'll be here any minute. They found out our plan a little while ago. There shouldn't be anyone in the area except for the prince's escort. We have a very small advantage, so let's not screw this up. Why hasn't the scout come back yet? They're looking for him right now. This plan has got to work. If we can't hand those three over, the whole thing falls apart. They're here. Huh? The Platinum Army is here. Uh-oh, the rebels are panicking, which is great because that means that's us that they're talking about. We didn't find the scout they were talking about. Uh-oh. Oh, I say, if they attack that one single soldier, we might lose them. So, Magnus, you're gonna march into the stronghold. Dio, I'm going to rest you briefly, and you'll fight that knight again. Eldred has been liberated. Alright, Isharo has been liberated. Oh, special cutscene. Are you stupid or what? Hurry up and untie us! Are you hurt, my lord? Thank you, Gio. I'm okay. Are you alright, Raid? Damn those sons of bitches. What took you so long? Incompetent Southern Division. Well, anyway, I appreciate your timely rescue. Which post do you belong to? My name is Magnus, sir. I'm a cadet with the Southern Division. I am not yet assigned to any post, sir. Magnus? Are you... not assigned? What are you guys, rookies or something? Yes, sir. You're the only ones who came to rescue us. Bullshit! What the hell is the Southern Division doing? Alright. I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. Go and take care of those rebels. Kill them all! Raid, I can never forget you. Is that really necessary, sir? Shut up, kid! Yes, it's necessary! Rebels wish for the downfall of this kingdom. They jeopardize the lives of innocent people and bring discord to peaceful lands. What else can we do to protect our kingdom and the people we love? We must crush them and teach them the futility of their defiance. That's the only way. I know it's a painful task to carry out, but it must be done. Now go and kill them! Hey, where do you think you're going? Did you forget what I just said? All rebels deserve to die. How could he do such a thing? My lord, we should get moving. New winning condition. Taking over the enemy headquarters at Volmus Mine. Losing condition is still the invasion of our headquarters or the death of Magnus. The stronghold Volmus Mine has been captured by the enemy. Alright. Now, I mean, I feel bad for the rebels if their lives are really tough. Maybe they're fighting to try to change their lot in life. But kidnapping the prince and trying to kill him, or it sounded like they were handing him over to some other people to potentially kill him based on what the fighters were saying. Like, okay, like that's not going to endear anyone to, well, it will endear probably anyone who hates the noble family to their cause. But Raid's not necessarily wrong. And I'm a little confused about Magnus's response, because they could have killed those three, and were probably planning to do so for some reason. And Magnus not really understanding that rebels are the enemy. But Magnus is a bit of a kind-hearted soul. The game wants you to play him that way. Dio gets you to fight there. Fordham, let's spin you around. I want him... Sorry, I want someone to destroy this, this griffin. Is it a lawful ally? I think griffins generally are. It is neutral, okay. So then, Fordham, let's have you... Well, actually, Fordham needs to rest a little longer first. Bruno, I'm going to just have you face this direction and watch for enemies. Oh, Magnus is fighting next. It's a bit awkward since I wanted Dio to do this fight, but we shouldn't kill both of them. Close, though. When you see me enter the field pause there, what I'm doing is saying, hey, right after this battle ends, before anything else happens, make sure this game is in a paused state. This way you have a chance to do actions, because if we had an army where this night ended up, we would be engaged in another battle instantaneously. And it's possible to ping-pong armies around very rapidly, and usually when that happens, you end up with the armies being also facing in different directions and effectively out of position, which can make things a bit awkward. Fordham, let's go. Belduke, let's have you go to the stronghold and heal a tiny bit. Wait, there's something here. Another light mace. Game is giving me equipment for a cleric, is what this tells me. Alright, Dio. Yep, here's your chance to try to get some experience points. And the soldiers with the kill. Alignment down for Dio. Generally, I like playing Magnus as a lawful alignment. Like, I'll try to raise his alignment. While Dio's, I'll try to make him more chaotic going forward. Who wants some more? Who wants some of me next? Good job, Dio. And Magnus, how is your troops holding up? A little hurt. But that's acceptable. Let's have you come down here. Now, in some missions, when you conquer some cities, enemies will appear in other areas of the map. I think only once does something like spawn near, maybe twice, near your starting headquarters. So, that's a bit tricky if you weren't expecting to encounter anything else. Like, if you sent all your armies away. So later on, I will tend to keep something in the stronghold. Oh, good! Crit Fordham! That guarantees we win this fight. Man, getting those crits, that's amazing. Wait, there's something here. Furix Vestment. We defeated them. Now what? Let's have you rest. What is this place? 58, Zyria. Belduke can probably... Not Belduke, sorry. Bumba can probably take that location. Let's have you rest there for a bit. Dio, I'm going to face you south. Actually, I think Fordham can probably liberate that location. Let's have you moved into the stronghold. This is the target. We want to go here next. We'll send the 3 units here out to the mine. I want to say when we take that province, we get ambushed. In fact, I'm confident of it. Bumba, let's move you here to assist. And Belduke, you'll move out here as well. Dio, let's have you... Oh, so, by the way, the enemies, if that one enemy squad Okay, everyone. I'm gonna call units squads because that makes a lot more sense to me than calling them units. Unit is what is generally refers to a single thing to me, not a squad. So if that enemy squad, army, squad, unit, whatever, had taken this city, we would have earned negative. Our chaos rating would have dropped. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Zira has been liberated. Hey, excellent work, Fordham. Oh, we should go into these places, by the way. This place is pretty barren. The land and living conditions. Back when we had our own king, he was always troubled by this land's roughness. The impression I'm getting that is that the designers of the story were working across is this is a really tough area to oh, why'd I do that? We get the same exact story again. Yeah. It's a really tough area to make a living in, and so the people here are probably poorer than other places. We could go shopping. What's here? A bandana. Oh, leather whip and Holt hammers. The leather whip is used by beastmasters. Probably the leather armor is also. We should take some torn cloth and buy like at least like 3 of it. We'll take another short bow. We'll take a bandana. And we'll take another leather armor. Just to make sure we have enough on hand in case Amazons are also leveled later. Magnus, what's inside this stronghold? We were patient, but things just worsened. No, it's not your fault. The aristocracy is to blame. The decisions, I guess, of the upper classes, or whoever is leading Lotus, sounds like the people are blaming them for the troubles they're currently in. I don't want to ruin too much of the story, so I can't make any more comments because it might give something away. So we'll see more what happens as it occurs. And actually, we weren't ambushed, so let's send you guys out in this direction. We'll get a chance to see what's there. Alright, I'm here. What's next? Right, so I moved Dio down to possibly attack that place from behind, but I think I will instead keep Dio here, and we'll enter this stronghold, because we didn't actually do that when we were here with Magnus. I don't care how bad Alba looks. I love this place. There was a time when the people of Palatinus and the Bomulcans lived together. Since Lotus assisted Latinum in ruling us, we've been slaves. She probably means figuratively, not literally. If there were slaves, she wouldn't be even able to speak her mind like that, I would imagine. Though I guess I'll ruin a little bit of this. We'll find out that Lotus is... I mean... You could probably consider them to be pretty bad. And by that I mean you should. Camping in. And what does this group consist of? Cad, a beast tamer with a hellhound present, and both of them are on the front rank. So that's gonna be a tricky battle. It's by far the most dangerous group we've seen so far. I'm going to... Let me see. We're going to send in Belduke first. I'm going to shift her army slightly, so that when we fight that group, the Hellhound will be fighting soldiers to start. Magnus, we can rest. Now, by the way, the enemy units also do heal while they are standing inside that stronghold. So it would behoove you when attacking them, and what you'll see me doing is sending like a line of squads into that enemy. Oh, Bumba. We lose a unit, we just lose a unit. That's it. A character, we lose a character. That's it. I don't want to take your life. Drop your weapons now. How pathetic. Are you trying to threaten us? We pledged our lives to the revolution. You're not going to stand in our way. We'll create a world where society is not based on class, and everyone has equal rights. That's not possible. Someone's always going to be ruling you. Feel our pain, our sorrow, our wrath. We'll feel it too. This is going to be a painful fight right here. We are attacking weakest with this group, so we might actually kill Quad here. Oh, now I think we guaranteed it. Holy crap! We get an Amazon from that fight. Well done. Soldier promotion. That's cool. So you guys get to see that too. Why don't you finish me off? There's no point in risking your life to kill a lowly soldier. Like myself. As I said before. As my sorceress said before. I also don't want to take your life. As long as you keep on living. Stop talking smart to me. Your sympathy won't change our fate. Mind you, we're the ones who attacked the prince. He's right, Magnus. Congratulations! Looks like we took his leather whip, confiscating it for the crown, as it were. Plus 7 soldiers. I don't think we lost a single soldier, did we, in this battle? And 787 Goth is nice. Thank you for saving us. You told me your name was Magnus. Are you the same Hey! Who ordered you to take them alive? There must be a reason why they did that. I believe it would be beneficial for the kingdom to listen to what they have to say. Shut up! There was absolutely no need to listen to their bitching. The only thing that matters for these lower class scum is what they have to face at this moment. So, sounds like Raid is going to hold the entire area responsible for what this band did. And I'm guessing he's probably demonizing him and others like this rebel. Make it easier for him to kill him. The workload is too harsh. The living conditions are sad. They only think of themselves. Why listen to those who don't think about the future of the entire kingdom? It is hard, Raid, to think about that when you're starving or when life's really tough. Instead, they believe that they're the only ones who are miserable. Speak for yourself! We only think of ourselves? Who took everything away from us for their own good? You! The so-called upper class that can't do anything without the protection of Lotus. The heartless beasts that they prey upon... The heartless beasts that prey upon the people and indulge in all their desires. You call us beasts? We dedicate our lives to the peace and prosperity of this kingdom. We fulfill our duty as the upper class and get compensated accordingly. Raid, stop! Why? These scoundrels tried to kill us. My lord, they tried to kill you for their own selfish end. My lord, this is part... No, this is the last stage of the inspection. Please stand back and watch. What? What are you doing? Well, since Magnus didn't do it, Raid's going to have to. Raid! What do you think you're doing? Sir, I believe Prince Yumel wants you to stop. Good for Magnus. He's still the prince. You're quite bold for a rookie. The prince is too merciful. As a member of the royal family, he needs to learn the harshness of this world. Isn't this a good opportunity for him? He can see for himself how to punish those who oppose us. The upper class. Oh, Raid. Man, that's not doing the upper class any favors. I would like to imagine you don't speak for all of them, but you're... That's bad. Stop it! Magnus! Wasn't that too bad? There goes your achievement, kid. You have raised your sword against the lineage of the progenitor. What Raid referred to there is that any medal or promotion that Magnus might have earned, he just decided to throw it into the trash when he attacked Raid right there. Are you prepared to accept the consequences? Isn't that lineage too noble to be mere puppets of Lotus? Alright. No! You call yourself a knight. What the? Who the hell are you? Or do all knights in this land devour the helpless souls? So I think those two are supposed to be sparring right now. Here, this way. You. Who the hell are you? Get out of my way. Saradin! With the blinding light, bind my foes with unbreakable chains. Disperse the shadows. Ray of paralysis. Damn it! Don't let them get away! I couldn't do anything. Yumel. Reminds me a bit of... What was it? Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics. How... Well, who was it? I mean, the story plays out very differently here. But I remember when Delita watched his sister be murdered, killed. that he vowed to do anything to gain the power necessary to stop that thing from happening in the future. And so this reminds me a little bit about that at this point, because we're seeing that Yumul's a prince. He has no actual power. No one cares what he says. Raid probably has more pull than he has. And they didn't care what he wanted. They're going to do what they think is best. Basically abusing their power. Owing to the Southern Division's actions, the attempt to assassinate Prince Yumul at Volmus resulted in failure. The incident concluded with the public execution of the mastermind. Rumors spread among the population that they executed a person who had no relation to the incident to save face. Yep, that's what they did. We just saw Cad escape with a maiden. Meanwhile, expected to dwindle, the rebels' activities have instead intensified and become more violent than ever. They're furious at what's going on. They're being ignored. The outcome of the public execution was not as expected. It not only affected the lower class, but the upper class who were disgruntled with the injustice, as well as the middle class. Hey, good! I'd like to see everyone coming together who hate the corruption. Chapter 1. Unable to turn back. Speechless and itinerant. Come in. Magnus Gallant reporting as requested, sir. Well, I'm sure you are aware that the rebels' activities have become more aggressive recently. Their strength is minimal. What concerns me is that they initiated their actions simultaneously in various parts of the kingdom. This must mean that they are getting their act together. So in order to stop the uprising and suppress the rebels, we will organize the troops specifically for that purpose. Your performance at the military academy. 1 month of field training in actual combat. I can't believe you just recently graduated. I have no idea why you came to the southern region, but I am willing to test you. You are now a captain in the Southern Division. I will assign you a group of men and a tactician. This will be your battalion. Now head to Trenel Canyon and subdue the rebels in Fort Tuatha. Sir, why did you choose me? Don't get me wrong. This does not mean that your actions have been justified. The abduction and attempted murder of Prince Yumul while he was in our jurisdiction. We even need rookies like We even need rookies like yourself to help clear our reputation. That's all. I want to make one thing clear, though. I'm not asking for your opinion or consent. You hear me? This is an order. Just keep quiet and follow my orders. You will be provided money, organize your troops, and attend to your duty. Understood? Yes, sir. Don't ever show sympathy for them again. You can't do anything about it alone. Set aside your personal feelings. Focus on your regiment and what you can do for your kingdom. That's not bad advice. He probably can't do anything alone. But if you can get a bunch of people to help him, maybe that will change. Alright, everyone. So, I'm going to save the game again. And we are now done with what all the like army stuff for this episode. But I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of the lore. So if you care for that, by all means hang around, and if you don't, thank you for watching what you did, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Oh, right, and we could also, I forgot to look at that last time, the Volmus Mine. I'll try to remember to read about Alba, the Volmus Mine, and Cranial Canyon before we get going in the next episode. Oh, and, by the way, the prologue is by far large the shortest of all the quote-unquote chapters in the game. It sets up what's going on and who our enemies are at this point in the game. Only 2 missions, as you saw, and we just completed both of them. The other chapters are quite a bit longer, so far more than 2. Something like, I think, like about 10 to 15 missions in each of them. Alright, that's enough babbling. Let's go ahead and get to the Hugo report. Oh, okay, and this was what I was talking about earlier. People is now here, so we can see everything about who we know and how they're related to other people. This is the past, but it may be helpful. Oh wow, what the heck is happening over there on the right? I wonder if anyone can see that. Probably everyone can. Alright, so, if we hover over someone, we will get information about that person. Magnus, Kingdom of Palatinus, Southern Division. Age 18. Oh, he's a young guy. I thought he was like around like 22. That's so young guy. Having an esteemed nobleman as a father, he spent his early days living in affluence. He enrolled in the academy when his mother died. An incident caused him to separate himself from his father. So we can read about all these characters, but I want to read about the basic lore of the kingdom at the moment. So we're going to go back to Miscellany and read about... Oh my goodness, there's a whole lot here. Well, you know what? Let's start it. So we're going to read up to the Holy Lotus Empire in this episode, and we'll read about the rest of this in the next one. So, let's get started. The history of Palatinus. The fertile plain that covers the central and western regions of Palatinus, originally called the Heartlands. There lived a people known as the Oryx, who formed a tribal society. From their early stages, the Oryx practiced agriculture and ranching. Since they are often mentioned in the legends of the goddess Birth, they are referred to as the people cherished by Birth. As ironware and farming tools developed, the population grew, and the society advanced slowly yet steadily. People prayed to Birth, giving thanks for their daily lives and asking for fruitfulness and abundance in their peaceful lives. I refuse to believe no one there was a hunter of some sort, though they would have existed too, but it sounds like they were mostly agriculture. Ingians and the Progenitor. To the Heartlands, home of the Oryx, came a nomadic tribe from the west. They were called the Ingians for the color of their hair and dark eyes of black, deep blue, and indigo. The Ingians fought with the Oryx for the control of the Heartlands, to secure their livelihood. Experienced from battles against other tribes, the Ingians defeated them with ease, and gained control of the Heartlands. Driven to the eastern mountain range, the outcast Oryx were forced to live in a harsh environment. A few years later, a hero named Virago arose from the Oryx. He later became known as the Progenitor for establishing the kingdom of Palatinus. With god-given power, the Progenitor sent frigid winds and the fury of earth against the Ingidans. The Ingidans surrendered to the Progenitor and the Oryx after suffering heavy casualties. Sounds like this guy found some ancient magic probably to help him do this, and wielded it against his foes' vengeance. Remember, or maybe not remember, but it would not surprise me if this story is not actually accurate. But this is the story that is told to the people in this kingdom, or rather what they believe their history is. They gave up possession of the Heartlands and agreed to the rule of the Progenitor. The Kingdom of Palatinus. The kingdom was created by the Progenitor after the Oryx and the Inginans were unified. It was the duty of the royal family and the people of the kingdom to give thanks to the goddess for their abundance. and to pass on the blessed heartlands to the next generation. The direct descendants of the progenitor succeeded the throne, as they inherited the divine protection of birth. There was a short-lived period of peace and prosperity after the founding of the kingdom. The Holy Lotus Empire became aggressive against Palatinus. This was the first foreign crisis that Palatinus encountered. King Procus changed government from a monarchy to a military dictatorship and reinforced the residing armies of each region to prepare for emergency, but that had little effect. Currently, the kingdom of Palatinus is ruled by King Procus, but under the supervision of the Holy Lotus Empire. We learned early on in that one cutscene that that now most of the lands are under control of the Lotus Empire, and if it's not said directly as such, they are basically a puppet government working under them. More about the Oryx. Affable in nature, due to a long period of agrarian lifestyle and lack of conflict with other tribes, many of them became nobles after the founding of Palatinus, so their conservative nature has disappeared. Oh, okay, I don't know what that means. One more second. It makes it sound like if you're a noble, you can't be conservative. I don't know if I agree with that. Ingenins. Fiery and militaristic in nature, due to it probably doesn't include every single one of them, as any statement doesn't do so, Tim. So, fiery and militaristic in nature, due to a nomadic lifestyle and constant struggles against other tribes. In the old days, the Ingen warriors braided their hair for superstitious reasons, but lately the youth, frustrated by society, revived this custom as a means of self-expression. Compared to the Oryx, the Ingens are coarse, with a love of war. Okay, so one group of them prefers peace, getting along with other people, and are rather friendly. The others are more confrontational. Well, that must be a cultural thing. I don't believe it's probably hereditary. Southerners. Tribe that inhabits the southern part of Palatinus. They normally live in small groups with their relatives, but in emergencies they share a strong spirit of unity. So, like scattered groups of people here and there in the wilderness, maybe a few cities, scattered towns, but they all come together when any one of them is threatened. Oppressed by Palatinus under the rule of Lotus, where they are deemed lower class, and many of them are forced into labor. Okay, so there are slave camps then, or effectively as such. The progression of their culture was stunted by their lifestyle of hunting and gathering in an area unsuitable for agriculture. But in recent years, before subjugation to Lotus, communication and trade with other parts of Palatinus thrived, resulting in their cultural growth. So, hard lifestyle, stick alone, but trading exposed them slowly to other cultures and the technology that they had, along with whatever culture they could would be spread there. Holy Lotus Empire. Nation located in western Galicia that exists solely to practice the dogma of Lodiism. Initially, it was governed by a king, but since the coup... I can't pronounce this. Guptat? That's wrong, but I don't know how to pronounce it. But since the coup that occurred 9 years ago, the Pope has seized the sovereignty of the state. So they're a theocracy. About 60 years ago, the Brigade of Radiant Cross was formed to reclaim the Holy Land of Avalon and convert the neighboring kingdoms to Lotism, and the Holy Lotus Empire initiated their military campaign. They traveled to Palatinus 12 years ago. It was rumored that the motive behind the expedition was to secure an outpost for the invasion of Zenobia and its labor force. Traditionally, the social structure was such that the people were ranked according to their skills, regardless of race or class. But Lotus adopted a system of hereditary elitism by the general sentiment of the upper class, and it is continued to this day. Ah, that's a shame. So, mediocrity was dropped. You were no longer, they no longer cared how good you were at a thing, and they only cared about what your status was. Do we want to read the rest of this? I kind of do, but we should break it up so I'm not reading... Well... Meh. Let's read the rest of this, what we have unlocked so far. So, Lotism. Religion of, I can't pronounce that, Firla, the sun god that practices the teachings of Lotus, a saint sent by Firla. The believers are children of Firla, and it is their duty to practice the teachings of Lord Lotus throughout their lives. Admonished overconfidence and blind faith, and recognize the significance of one's existence. This originally meant that every person has a place that best suits them, but as time went by, it was distorted into the principle of competence and selectivity. The religion is based on the Galician myth, a version of the Zentiquetian myth told in Galatia, in which all gods are avatars of Firla, who exist to help his followers. The Pope and the clergy, the paragons of faith, are considered second only to gods, and a believer's rank is a measurement of achievement as a child of Firla. I wish I had some statement to make about that, or some thoughts, but I don't. That seems rather... Let me read this again really quick. Oh, okay, I understand this twisting of this now. So it used to be that, like, if you're good at this thing, do that thing. But now it's more like, if you're an elite, you were chosen to that. And if you're poor, tough. You're poor forever. I think that's what that final sentence is trying to get at. That's awful. Yeah, I much prefer the original belief of Lotism than its current one. Rule by Lotus 1. The following articles were presented to Palatinus by Lotus after the signing of the peace treaty. Conversion of the entire population to Lotism. Allegiance to the Pope and the Holy Lotus Empire. Adoption of a class system. Obligation of taxation. In addition, the Pope appointed King Procus governor, instructing him to follow the orders of... I can't pronounce this word. I can't pronounce that. I can't. And govern the kingdom. I'll have to listen to YouTube tell me how to say this. As a result, the kingdom of Palatinus became a domain of the Holy Lotus Empire. I'm gonna cut the recording and go look it up really quick. Triumvirate is how I say that. Triumvirate. Okay. Rule by Lotus 2. Okay, so this is more in-depth information about what each of those statements meant. Conversion to Lotism. Only the changes of deity was enforced. Other aspects, such as festivals, were dealt with flexibly. This was done so the conversion to take place smoothly and efficiently. That makes sense. Otherwise, if I'm imagining that the people of this world are rather religious. Magic exists. Divine magic exists. So people will probably get pissed off if you try to make them change the religion. That would happen anywhere, even if probably divine magic didn't exist. So this is a little more like, say you do, but you don't have to act like you do. Allegiance to Lotus. All kingdoms under the command of Lotus were to pledge allegiance to the Pope and head disciple of Firla and the Holy Lotus Empire. You are their subjects. Class system. Lotus made the adoption of its class system mandatory to all subordinate kingdoms. The nobles and merchants who qualified as upper class were given titles in Lotus, regardless of their kingdom of origin. Sure, make them more loyal to Lotus by doing this, give them places of power and prestige, and they won't complain too much, and then use that to help Lotus. Taxation. All kingdoms under the command of Lotus were obligated to pay taxes to them. When rich deposits of Balder ore were discovered, Lotus ordered Palatinus to pay taxes in Balder ore, along with crops, money, and valuables. Oh, God. So, if it's not slavery, it's very close to it to work some of those mines, I'm imagining. God, those poor people. Triumvirate. Agents sent by the Pope to each kingdom under command of Lotus comprise of military, administrative, and religious advisors. The voice of the Triumvirate is treated as that of the Pope himself, and therefore they are the eyes and ears of the Pope. Military advisor. oversees military activity and armament of the kingdom, his main duty being the suppression of unrest. He has a stronger voice than the other advisors. In most cases, the leader of a military order is assigned to this post, and a certain number of his men are stationed with him. Administrative Advisor oversees political affairs of the kingdom. He is a very high-ranking official in mainland Lotus, but in subordinate kingdoms he has the lowest position among the 3 advisors. His role is primarily to inform the governor of the decisions made by the other advisors and to make sure that they are carried out. Religious Advisor oversees religious aspect of the kingdom. The clergyman who is assigned to this post does not concern himself with the other advisors' duties, but instead devotes himself only to his missionary work. Well, that's interesting. Sounds like they separated him from the political part of this. I wouldn't have thought that was the case for Lotus. Would have thought it would have been a theocracy. I guess I'm wrong. He travels to churches and shrines in the kingdom, earnestly spreading the gospel of Lord Lotus. That doesn't sound too bad, I suppose, although I don't like the twisting of Lotusism. Zentengian Calendar 1. In Zentengia, a year is divided into 15 months, and I'm not good. This is a lot of them. We're just gonna skip them. There you have it, 15 months. And 2. And that's the dates at which the months fall in our world. This chart converts the Zentenkian calendar, I can't pronounce that, into the Gregorian calendar. Alright, everyone. More information will become unlocked there as we play through the game. We'll read about the people in the next episode. And now that that's done, this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was fun. And I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.